it's Rachel from 7 and All, and today I have a really fun history resource that I get to share with you that you might not have heard of yet. Today I'm going to be giving you a detailed look inside several issues of Honest History. Now, Honest History is a quarterly magazine that has different issues that focus on specific topics within history. I recently heard about them and I was very intrigued because in my experience I've figured out that it's pretty difficult to find good history resources on certain specific areas or certain specific topics that aren't necessarily US history or European history. You know, those famous topics that you can find lots of resources on. Yeah, but then there's other more niche topics that it's harder to find good history resources for kids about. So I'm bringing you this video today in partnership with Honest History. I'm not being paid to share about these, but they did send me several issues for myself that I could try out, look through them very thoroughly, and see what I thought so I could share them with you. And Honest History is being generous enough to offer all of you guys, my subscribers, a discount code. So you can get 10% off with this discount code. So make sure you head down to the description to find that discount code and find their link so you can go and check out their shop. What I really like about Honest History, just right off the bat, is that they are a subscription. So you can sign up and you can get 4 magazines in a year through a subscription, but they also allow you to purchase past issues of the magazine. So if you're not really maybe that much into subscriptions, but you wanted a resource targeting one specific area of history to help you with a unit study or to help you with a certain interest that your child has or that you have in bringing into your homeschool, you can just go and buy that specific magazine. And I think that's really cool. All right, now I'm going to take you on a look inside what these awesome magazines have to offer. Okay, so I'm going to take you on a very thorough kind of flip through and look inside of the issues that I was sent of Honest History. That's because I think that's one of the most useful things I can do on this channel. I really rely on flip throughs and being able to see the inside of a product before I buy it, before I invest my money, because sometimes it's just really hard to tell from just a couple photographs on a website. So the issue I'm showing you right now is the espionage or spy-themed issue from Honest History. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to these very niche topics within history that it might not be that easy to find resources on. And I think if you ever just start talking about espionage and spies with kids, of course they are going to be really excited and really intrigued to learn more. There's just something that seems very interesting about spies. Now, of course, I don't think that the history of spies is very black and white, that you exactly know who's good and who's bad. There's definitely a lot of moral complexities to it, and I'm sure we can't go into that all that much in the space of one magazine for kids. But I like that they're bringing in different kind of topics. Like that was an article on about ladies in espionage, the role of women in spies. We have some kind of experiment type of activities in this book, as well as very important people in the history of espionage. So some features of real life people from different periods of history, from different countries. So that's really neat. You can see there's a lot of colors, a lot of pictures, but there is also a lot of words. So it's not just pictures and kind of, glamour stuff. There actually is quite a bit of content. We do have an invisible ink activity. I'm pretty sure that's a must-do if you're covering spies with kids. That's a classic. Raise your hand. Raise your hand in the comments below if you've done that. We cover spy agencies around the world. We've got the CIA, different agencies from around the world, so you can tie in a little bit of geography that way. So that's really neat. In different articles, I have no idea what the Culper ring is. So I myself am going to be learning quite a bit as we go through this unit. Or this magazine. I think this is going to be really cool. There are some kind of interactive activities sprinkled in, things that require answers. So it's kind of a mix. There's a lot of articles and there's a lot of information, but then there's also a few interactive pages as well to kind of suit the magazine format. But I don't think I would necessarily have kids write the answers directly in the magazine because, knowing me, I like to get the most use out of any of our resources. I would probably try to keep the magazines in pretty good condition and leave the answers blank so that we can have another kid, a couple years down the road answer the same questions. That's just the way my mind works. So we've got some kind of short answer, little writing prompts here to make you think. We have a timeline of the history of espionage. So that's kind of a big picture view of it. So that's really cool. I think it's kind of pretty neat to find a resource that focuses on espionage and it's designed for kids, and it's something you can do with your kids to just kind of cover a topic that you wouldn't necessarily talk about all that much in just the course of normal homeschooling. Got some gadgets here. Of course, kids always love gadgets, and Mad Libs. Popular choice for sure. So we've kind of come to the end of the magazine, and I think you'll find most of the interactive activities toward the end after you've read most of the information. Now this issue I'm very excited about because it is focused on India. This is their India issue, which I have found it very difficult to find resources for the history of India that are designed for kids to understand, so they're not like scholarly, intimidating books, but are also in English. So there are some parts of the world that it can be pretty tricky to try to find resources on. Let me know in the comments below if there's any kind of niche topic or just certain area of geography that you've wanted to study with your kids, but you've kind of had a hard time finding resources about that topic. I would definitely love to know if you've kind of faced these struggles too, or if you've noticed this phenomenon that it seems like some resources you can find or some topics you can find so many resources on, and then others it seems like you're coming up blank when you're searching. So we get to cover several very well-known people in India's history, which I'm going to be learning a lot as we do this. There's a very small, tiny exploration into how many languages India has. The many, many languages represented by the many different people groups who call India home. And Bollywood, I mean, that's definitely very important and iconic. The cinematography of Bollywood. Maybe we could even watch. We used to have a Bollywood movie DVD. I'm not sure if we have it anymore. But I think this will be a really, really interesting study for the girls and me. I think we're all going to learn a lot when we go through this. And we, of course, get to the history of imperialism in India. There's a mapping activity here, so it's based on that map that we got to see at the front of the magazine. And some animals and ecosystems in India. That will be cool. I mean, there's so much packed into these small magazines. I mean, they can't cover everything. It's not a very thick book, but that's really cool. A board game. So you'll see that the activities kind of vary from one magazine to another. They're not all going to be the same. I mean, wow, Partition of India. This is a lot, and I'm sure they can't go in super great depth, but this is going to be cool. Oh, the history of Sanskrit. Okay, I'm probably going to get way too nerdy about this one and way too excited. The history of a language. Guys, that is so cool. That is so awesome. I am really impressed at how much is in just one issue of these magazines. I think we will definitely be learning a lot and find these to be a really cool resource. I can imagine trying to, make this just into a whole kind of little section of our school year, using this magazine and using this resource to learn about this section in history. I think this would be a great spine for a unit on India. Probably the best one I have seen yet for this topic. Then here we've got a coloring page and a little comic strip. Kids will like that. That's cute. Yeah, this is really fun. I am honestly very impressed with what I'm seeing in the magazines here. And just a little bit of kind of writing prompt and a quiz. Ooh, we love quizzes. I know that's kind of not popular in the homeschool world to love quizzes, but we just have to be honest, we do. And this is the last issue I'll show you for today, Journey Through the Jungle. This is about Mesoamerican history, which I am also super excited to learn about and to teach about, because this is another area of the world geographically that I have found it difficult to find good kid accessible history resources in this area. They do have these little young historian interviews at the beginning of each issue, which is neat. Oh, we have another language feature. You know, I'm going to be excited about that. We start off with some general fun facts. Get to learn about people. All right, so learn about some different people, the Maya today. Because, you know, people groups generally don't disappear off the face of the planet. You can't just think about only about ancient history. You got to think about modern times too. Math, vocabulary words that we can learn. That's awesome. That math might be a, a different way of writing math. I like that because, you know, not all math systems have always used the numbers that we use. And I think it's good for the kids to understand that. And I think this one has a little bit more of an archaeological focus. So learning about kind of the ruins in Mesoamerica and the way that we've learned about ancient cultures through archaeology and through study of those ruins. So that will definitely be interesting. I mean, this isn't a topic that I even myself know much about. See, this is the awesome thing of homeschool is we as parents, we get to learn about new things that we might have missed in our school days or just didn't pay enough attention or weren't taught yet. Okay, making your own ball game. So here's a different interactive activity for this particular topic. Cool. Tools used in archaeology. So I'm skipping over some things so that, you know, you're still going to have some surprises when you get this magazine for yourself. But I do want to just like keep showing you enough to show just how much you have in each of these magazines. I am very excited. I think these just three magazines will be a huge asset to our family's homeschool. Homeschool history library will really help us to learn about topics that we haven't learned about before. They're kind of representing places in history and aspects of history that aren't necessarily going to be covered in just your normal straightforward history curriculums. And I like the opportunities and kind of prompts that they have for responding to what you've learned about as well. I hope that you found this kind of look inside and review helpful. Remember to head to the description below if you want a coupon code that's going to get you 10% off your order from Honest History. And you can also head to their website, of course, through a link I'll leave down below. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I love to provide helpful comments and great resources that just might be helpful to your homeschool family. Bye!